as a king, you can be a king, and yet someone else is sitting on your throne. David was anointed, but Saul was on the throne. I came today by the power of God. Anyone sitting on your throne, anyone that has taken your place, today I break their power. 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 Somebody shall break, 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 break. In Judges 1, Daddy, if you read from verse 5, there was a man called Adoni-Bezek. He was the king of Bezek. This man was in charge of one territory, but by manipulation and coercion, he conquered 70 kings. And he manipulated, and all those kings were under him. All of them. So he came to Israel and said to Israel, hand over your nation. Israel said, no, we don't hand over without a fight. Victory is not a product of right, it's a product of fight. It takes fight to be on a flight. And faith is not for fun, faith is for fighting. Fight a good fight of faith. You must be ready to take your place in life. You are called into wealth, you are called into abundance. We are in a generation that does celebrate mediocrity. A broke man is an orphan. A broke man is an orphanage. We are in a generation that does not celebrate. This man came. Israel had a contest with him and they fought. Listen to this. The man ran. He took off. And Israel finally caught up with him. And the man said, before you kill me, let me confess. Look at that. The man said, if you go to my palace, I have the head of 70 kings under my table. Papa, 70 kings with dreams under the table. 70 kings with ambition for life under the table. 70 kings with projects, with prayer point that they wrote from January till now under the table. What were they doing under the table? They were merely confessing dreams. I am a king, no throne. I am a king, stranded. I am a king, not celebrated. Under the table. But this is it. They said, how did you do that? He said, I cut off their thumbs and their great toes. That's all. He said, that's all I did. How do you incapacitate a man? By just cutting off his thumb and toes. That's all. If you get back home, read it. Judges 1:5-7. That's all. That it was spiritual. He cut off their thumbs and their toes for 3 reasons. Number 1, so they cannot handle anything firmly. When your thumb is off, you lose your grip. You have connection, you have helpers, but you can't keep anyone. Marriage proposal, but you cannot keep it. You can't keep a job. Can I see your thumb? Your thumb is for your grip. He said, I cut off their thumb. So systematically, everything they have, they lose it. There are people who have connections, but there is no collection. If you look at their phone, honorable, but there is no honor in their lives. They know a lot of people. They have brothers in the Senate. These are graduates, no job, because Adoni-Bezek has cut off their thumb. These were kings that were decimated. Their thumb was cut off. So there is nothing they could keep. Adoni-Bezek cut off the thumb of kings. Number 2, he said, I cut off their toes. Why did he cut off their toes? To slow their speed. When you are running a relay, you mark with your toes. So when your toe is cut off, you are a king. But what would have taken you 1 year is taking you 10 years. In January, I set a financial target for myself in January. Archbishop sir, in January, I have met it twice. I'm on the 3rd go. I set a target. I have met that target twice. I am on the third goal. Am I talking to somebody here? Because of speed. On the Bezek, cut off their toes. So you see the person, it can't move. They are crawling. This is royalty, but crawling. This is royalty, but crawling. You are on the spot for a long time. You are a king. But to access royalty, you need warfare. That's the first thing you need as a king. And that's why I brought up the Adonibezek explanation. You need to contend for that. You need to contend for that which God has put in your hand. So it was their crawling. Why did he cut off their thumb and toes? Number 3, to make them incomplete. A man without a thumb and a toe is not complete. And in Psalm 138 verse 8, he said, God will perfect that concerneth me. So to assess your kingship, the first thing you need is what? Warfare. Every destiny is surrounded by warfare. It is your contention, understanding warfare, that determines your welfare. And when you get your welfare, you will be well fed. War surrounds your testimony. You see, don't copy. You see, don't act like Solomon, who you think had no war to fight. David contended for Solomon 66 battles and won all. But when Solomon became a king, he operated warfare but with wisdom. Solomon married 700 wives, 300 concubines, not because he was promiscuous. It was strategy. Solomon had 700 cities around him and 300 regions. So he picked a princess each from the palace. So no king could fight him because you can't fight your in-law. You are putting your hands on your head. You didn't know that. All of them were in-laws, so no king could fight him. You set up a war. Your daughter is in the palace. 1,000. He didn't know all of them. Solomon was not calling the wives by name. He was calling them by codes. Florence 202. I wish I was talking to somebody here. Warfare! And the man began to confess. He said, they are under my... I don't know where they kept your wealth. I don't know where your dream has been kept. I don't know where your success has been kept. I don't know where they kept your money. I don't know where they kept your advancement. But from my mouth to God's ears, without I used to pray, I make a decree over your life. I make a decree over your family. I make a decree on your interest. After today, you are coming out. 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 You don't serve a dead man. You serve a mighty God. He is the same yesterday. He is the same today. He is the same forever. When God says yes, no man can say no. When God lifts you up, no man can bring you down. God is on your side. Power is on your side. Glory is on your side. Favor is on your side. God is on your side. God is on your side. Everybody shout fire, yeah. Hold on. Warfare. Some say life. In Spain, I was in Valencia. No. Another in Spain, I'm trying to remember. I was in a city in Spain for a program. A lady shared a testimony. She was in Spain. And he said the Lord used my faith to appear to her. And I said to her, I am having a program in the next city. Try and attend. And she said, Apostle, I'm in jail. How can I attend the program? I said, tell one of the officers that you want to attend the program. So she went to one of them and said, Apostle is coming, I want to attend. A white man. The man didn't understand. She convinced the man. So they put something on her to track her. They do that a lot. To track wherever she is. They told her to go. She came for the program. And during the program, she was in a crowd. The prophetic hit the place. And the Lord called a particular name. That was her name. When she came out, the Lord called the surname. It was not her name. It was somebody else. She felt disappointment. As she was going, she said, I told her to come. I said, you don't feel happy? He said, no. I said, don't worry. You are released. I didn't know what when I said that. He said, the word you used was, you are released. Yeah. She left. She got back to the place. As she came, she went to see the officers. And said, I've come back. And they asked her, why did you come back? He said, I don't understand. We have to perfect the documents. They said, we released you to go. And they opened from her leg and told her, go! Can I ask you a question? Protocol-wise, does that make sense? The problem you have is that you are too logical. You try to figure. When God says you are going to be wealthy, you are checking your family background, you are checking your job, you are checking your profession. When God spoke to me and said, I will make you a voice, I will take you around the world, I was looking from where do I come from? How can you send me? I was in Lagos. You said go to Auchi, a remote community, and from this remote community you said you are going to make me a voice, take me to sit before kings of the world. You are going to take me. How? So sometimes God does not call your present to determine your future. God does not consult with your present to determine your future. Warfare! Because there are many things and people around you. You know, God, there are two people God told us to love. He said, love your neighbor. In that moment, I say, love your enemies. Only those two people. Love your neighbor, love your enemies. Because your enemies are amongst your neighbor. Love your neighbor, love your enemy. Because your neighbors are your enemies. Those you think are close to you, problem. Warfare. Number two.